Hey, what's up, everybody? BDF44 coming at you with another video. So it is halftime. The Lakers are down against the New Orleans Pelicans. They were down about 11 points. And I just want the Lakers to make a decision because there's an unwritten rule out there that basically says if you have a bad team, you have no business running veterans. Those veterans need to be released and given opportunities to play in winning situations. If you look at all the bad teams, rarely do you see more than one veteran player, actually good veteran player, stay there past the play. What do they call it when you can sign people from teams? I can't even get my mind around what they call that. But past that point in March when you can sign folks, those players usually aren't on those bad teams. That's basically what I'm here to say. So I want the Lakers to make that decision because we have some people to cut. I'm and you know who they are. I'm not gonna sit here and give you the full spiel right now. I'll save that for the after game show. But I'm watching vets run around there and they've got nothing. Trevor Ariza is running around. He don't have a whole lot. Carmelo Anthony, he's giving you a little, but not much on the defensive end. Russell Westbrook, he looked about as bad as he's ever looked. I don't recall seeing a player make so many poor choices. Just like if there's two ways to go, he's gonna choose the wrong way. It's a lot of that going on with Russell Westbrook in that first half, man. LeBron ain't that much better in terms of the turnovers. He got 16 turnovers in that first half. So that'll let you know what it is that I just got through watching, what we're all trying to sit through. But it's like I look past this game. This season, I'm looking so far past it. It's very difficult for me to zero in on these games when I know we aren't playing for anything. And not only are we not playing anything, but we're also not even seeming to be pointing in the right direction with what we're doing. So that's where my head goes, not to what the game has going on, but more so to, as an organization, do we have a clear-cut path forward? Because even if you do want to move forward with LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Russell Westbrook, let's say you've made it up in your mind that you can't get rid of Westbrook, you don't want to trade AD, and you're going to stick it out with Bron, and that's what it's going to be for next season. So assuming we've committed to this, you still shouldn't be doing some of the stuff we're doing out there right now with these vets. Because this season is over. This particular season, if we're going to get the most out of that big three, we need to find gems. Players who can play well out of nowhere. G League type guys. If you look at what OKC has going on, that's what we need to be doing. Filling our whole roster full of guys who may make it in the league, may just need an opportunity, sitting in the G League real hungry right now, got a lot of upside, but not a lot of experience. That's what we need to be doing, regardless of what our plan is for these stars, because at the end of the day, without cap space and without players that are worth anything to anybody, you can't create the flexibility necessary to get the players you need to make this trio work. That's the bottom line. We're going to make better decisions with our mid-level next year, I'm sure. I know we're going to continue to look for players that can do things like Austin Reeves and Malik Monk. We'll find somebody. But if you really want to have the money to pay the people who are going to be the meat and potatoes of your bench, your role players, if you want good ones, this is how you need to start operating in order to make it so that you have that currency available to you. I don't care how many shots you give Trevor Ariza. He's not netting you anything in trade value in the offseason. You can give him 30 shots a night. Avery Bradley, same thing. You can give him 30 shots a night if it makes you feel better. You're not trading them for anything, no matter how much you play them. That's the meat and potatoes of my point. That is the basis of my theory here of why the Lakers need to not have vets on this roster right now. It's because you don't have no cap space. So you need to find assets somewhere. You don't have any draft picks. So you need to make something happen. And the only way to do that is to bring in guys off the street who could turn into something. And you see these guys come into the league every day. David Nwaba, got all these different players coming out. Look at Isaiah Thomas. He's scoring 40 and 50 points a game in the G League. Not to say that I want to call him back up, because I don't. But what I'm saying is the hunger is down there. It ain't on your bench, LA. Trevor Ariza barely can get around. He's barely jogging. Carmelo Anthony's barely getting around, man. This is getting to a point where it's like your direction for success. Do you know what it takes to get what you need? And that's the question I have for the Los Angeles Lakers organization, because I believe I know what we need to do. That's my thing. It's like I have a clear plan in my mind for how the Lakers can get out of this hole. It starts with them simply firing Frank Vogel. That's the first thing. And you bring in a player development coach. That player development coach must be good at creating offensive plays and making people look good within their positions. Someone who can make a guy who averages 8 points average to 11. That's the type of coach you need. Someone who's going to inflate the value of the players on your roster. And then, after filling your roster full of hopefuls with a lot of heart and a lot of energy, you trade them boys. You package them. If you really want to make some money, you find the bigs. A big who can stretch the floor and has a lot of energy. You find you a Montrezl Harrell in the G League. You bring him up and you give him 25 minutes a game. You let him get that inevitable double-double that's going to come from him being energetic, pulling down rebounds, and getting easy buckets in the paint. Someone who's particularly good at offensive rebounds. I'm telling you this specifically because I know these players gather a lot of value around the league. It's easy to move them around. A double-double power forward guy, it's easy to move. You pick him up, you put him on your team, you give him the minutes, you turn him into like a Marvin Bagley light, and you trade him to Detroit or somewhere, and you bring back a second-round pick for him. Rinse and repeat, and you gather these players. It may take 2-3 years. A couple of them G League dudes are going to get as good as a Terrence Ross, maybe even a little better if you develop them properly. You couple that with THT, you couple that with Austin Reeves, you couple that with Malik Monk if you're able to keep them, and you focus on those players and you get them as good as possible, and then you trade them for second round picks. Rinse and repeat eventually. Even if you don't want to use those picks and you don't believe in picks, guess what picks do? Picks can get you cap space. Now you can send a pick somewhere and couple that with somebody else and get back an expiring contract. That cap space now is the value you need, or the picks that you gather. Now you can trade them for things that can help you. That's how you do it. That's how you make something out of nothing. What we're doing is going to bring us more nothing that ain't going to give us no somethings. And that's the bottom line. That is all I think about when watching the Lakers, is how they're missing an opportunity right here and now to start the process of turning something nothing into something. And we continue to run Frank Vogel, who's literally clueless. He doesn't know the first thing about this concept I'm talking about right here. He don't know nothing about this. He don't care nothing about this. It wouldn't benefit him in any way to be focusing on your future as a coach. All he wants to do is lean on players that he knows he can run from his era, because he doesn't know any better. That's what I've come to terms with. He's the guy I want to face in fantasy basketball, because I know I'm going to blow him out, because he don't know the first thing about who's productive in this league and who's not. That's who Frank Vogel is. And apparently it seems like that's who our front office is too. I would beat all of y'all in fantasy basketball. And that's where I'm at with it. I would put together a team that would blow the Lakers completely out if I start my franchise right now. And that's why I'm of the mindset that I need to use my voice to just put these concepts out there, because the media ain't gonna talk about it. Your favorite local Laker people, they ain't thinking like this. But this is how the Lakers are gonna get out of this hole, y'all. This is how they're gonna do it. They have to start like OKC. That's why Sam Presti was such a prime example, because he understands the importance of hoarding picks and creating opportunities for cap space. Picks and cap space is currency in the league. And if you value it as such, you will have a good opportunity to build going forward. And all this talk about, oh, the Lakers, what if you draft wrong? What if you get a bunch of Bongyanis and Oloa Candies? We're not going to. We're not going to. Why? First of all, we have good scouts. Second of all, if we thought we didn't trust our scouts, guess what you can do? You could package those first round picks for things that are more tangible. Players with 2 and 3 year deals already. Guys who are well into their position, who want to do what it is that they want to do here in LA. You could package those picks for those players. So there's no downside to hoarding picks just because you're afraid you're going to miss with them. You don't even get that far. You trade them before it even gets to that point. So, like I said, picks is currency. Cap space is currency, and that's what the Lakers need to be focused on, whether they keeping Bron or not. Make THT what he's supposed to be. Get Kendrick Nunn back on his floor and remind everybody what it is that he's capable of being. Continue to get Austin Reeves the ball and allow him to make the mistakes that he's going to make as a young player, and don't pull him off the floor for making them. These are the things we need to do. Bench Avery Bradley, bench Trevor Ariza. Hell, waive them dudes. Bazemore. I don't want to see another one of these old men on our team no more for the rest of eternity. I don't want to see nobody that ain't on Bron's level above the age of 34 ever again, fam. That's where my head at. I don't care. If they ain't on Bron level, if they over the age of 34, they need not be on this team, man. Straight up. No more old men. There's no country for old men. That's what I'm with. So, that's what I got, man. My name is BDF44. I'm going to watch the second half of this abysmal basketball game. Continue to watch BI drive down the paint, get fouled every single play. I'm going to continue to watch the Lakers run some stupid reversal entry pass into the paint where a smaller guy is trying to catch the ball in the paint as we throw the ball out of bounds over his head. I've seen them run that play about 3 times. I don't know what the hell kind of offense that is, but that's the type of crap I'm talking about. When you got Frank Vogel down there, these are the type of things you're going to deal with. That's why he needs to go. So those plays aren't ever happening. But nobody listens to me. So it is what it is, man. I'll have an after game for y'all. My name is BDF44. Thank y'all for watching. I'm out.